it's just, I mean, it's just so hard right now for both of us, you know, not seeing the kids, you know. I mean, our life is like pretty much over. I mean, you know, I love my wife and I love my children with all my heart, and I just need them back to make our lives full again.
Sometimes we didn't even have a place to live or whatever, and I realized that at an early age, stealing and ripping people off was really the only way to live. We got kicked out of there at it's about 2:30 this morning, 2:45. So we went over here to the Trinity Church and tried to gather what the hell we're going to do now, you know, because that's where we've been staying. And we just sat there, drank a beer, and now we don't know what we're going to do. I don't know where we're going tonight.
I mean, I had to say, I'm not feeling good today. I'm feeling sick. Oh, I got pains. What am I going to do? Eat, or am I going to go to the hospital, or am I going to go see a doctor? You had to choose. What do you want? The food or see a doctor? Most people's going to say, I want to eat. And then they let their health go downhill.
By the church.
That's crazy because everybody
they got a thing on the church where you can turn the water on. That's where I've been taking a shower. Strip down my clothes. I clean put my clothes on the bushes, and I clean them with soap.
Poverty has its own rules. Each register of society has its own rules. Rich people have their rules, the middle class have their rules, the poor have their rules, and the real poor have their rules. It's like prison. Each thing has their own rules.
As a result of the way my family was, I've lost family members due to suicide. My father and my brother committed suicide because of the way things have always been in our family, and I watched my mother and my whole family just live very poorly. They were always on welfare, and they never made a lot of money.
I had my little boy with me, and you know, he was 4 at the time, and I had him down there with me so I could try to explain to him that somebody's coming for him. And you know, I just didn't know what to say to him, you know, because when they came, they didn't even let me finish the clothes, you know. So you know, he just kept asking me, why, Daddy? You know, why did it take him? And I still see that in my head all the time. And it just breaks me up, you know. But it's, you know, it was the same way at our visits too, you know. It was pretty much them getting taken away all over again, you know. You know, it's really, really bad.
You see how I'm doing.
The year after he was born.
Yep.
That was, he must be my age,
That's okay.
43.
No,
But,
he's younger.
I'm surviving
It was
still.
torn down after
Stepping stone.
I always thought.
Baby
Nah,
steps.
it doesn't matter.
No, my
Just a
youngest
matter of-
brother was
Every day I wake up, it's like I don't know what's in front of me.
39.
Day
Okay,
to
so I'm
day,
off by a
lately,
couple of years.
Day to day.
But, you know, after we lost the kids, we had to do all kinds of different counseling in order to get them back, you know. And, you know, we did everything that was asked of us. And, you know, we pretty much were still working on it, and we ended up losing our place because of court and the counseling that we had to get and everything else. And
People think poverty is just drugs and alcohol, but there's a lot more to poverty and addictions than just drugs and alcohol. There's the violent side, there's the guns, the knives, the having so much pain put on you that it actually becomes like candy here. Growing up looking at scars like badges of honor.
you know how they everybody has that American dream, you know, a white picket fence and nice yard and stuff like that. I'm hoping we get that someday, and you know, then you know our life will be full, you know, and happy again. All we got, you know, all we gotta do is just keep trying and, you know, hoping.
And there's a lot of mental illness as a result of poverty. There's a lot of lack of education as a result of poverty. There's a lot of teenage women having children as a result of poverty and going on welfare and stuff. And I mean, not just being ignorant to birth control and all that stuff. I mean,
Yeah, the only other problem we had was before we came here is we were told places that we could go and couldn't go to camp. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
And well, we ended up staying in a tractor trailer truck, an empty, banded, no longer used, just to keep out of the wind and cold. It was something that I'll never forget.
Yeah, it was pretty nasty.
Yeah, it was. Thank God for old sheet that I had, though.
What you gotta do, what you
Gotta do.
It was kind of hard saving money camping out because, you know, we didn't dare to have a fire to cook with, you know. So, you know, we ate out all the time, and that cost a lot of money. And, you know, once in a while the weather was real bad and we got flooded out or whatnot, which did happen a few times. You know, we'd get a motel room for a couple nights, and then we'd have to drag everything up to town and dry, you know, wash it and dry it, and it was just a big pain, you know.
Right, like down in the barn down there where we were staying. We weren't bothering anybody. Well, some of us weren't. And some others were lighting fires and everything.
But the fire was the teenagers, wasn't it?
Some of them. some of it was a couple of other people,
Who
street
have
people.
left town since
Yeah,
then.
they've left town since then. Hopefully gone for good. But, so I lived on the streets for 6 months. It's pretty rough out here at night. You know, not knowing who you're going to run into at night. It's rough.
You try to roll you when you're sleeping. You know, I mean, if you're asleep and somebody starts kicking you, what are you going to do? You know, you're not even awake. The only fortunate thing for us is we've been in the area for a while, so we know a lot of people. So it's not as dangerous for us as it would be if somebody was to come here from a totally different area and didn't know anybody. You know, because the chances of them getting in a fight or getting rolled is probably twice what it would be for us.
Years old, I learned how to make money. Okay? I was having the winos buy beer for so much a case, and I was selling it to the junior high people, but I was too little because they could took it from me. So I had winos, you know, somewhat straight in the head, that would sell it to them. And I'd give them enough to buy a jug of wine, and I was making 100% profit off each case. And on the weekends, the junior highs and the high schoolers would come get their whiskey or beer, whatever they wanted. And so I learned this, but I learned it by watching grown-ups as to us.
Well, you're looking for full-time.
Have a shop, you know.
I got one that's kind of
or
like,
set up a table somewhere.
yeah, I got one that's kind of like part-time, full-time kind of thing. They work you when you're needed. But I work like, what, 5-6 days a week. This week, you're not allowed to get overtime, so I went 3 days without working. So it's hard. So I'm trying to find another part-time myself, just so that we can make ends meet and stuff and save up for another place. It's not the easiest thing, but we'll do it. We've always bounced back before.
When I was 13, or before I was 13, I started, you know, I got put, you know, foster care and in state's custody and juvenile jail for stealing and just, you know, ripping people off. And I started developing a substance abuse problem. So by the time I was 18, I'd spent most of my teenage years in juvenile jail. And when I was 18, I did an armed robbery for drugs.
A certain few, you know, make it difficult for you. If you're down on your luck, or if you ain't got no place to live, or lost your children like we did.
Yeah, everybody looked down on us.
And, you know, not everybody, no. It's just we had a hard time getting a job up that way. And, you know, it's only because of them certain few people, and which I think is really wrong.
I always had to wear like bad clothes and stuff that I didn't want to wear when I was going to school, and that's why I hated going to school. I hated being around people my own age, because I just didn't, you know, I didn't feel like I fit in.
Yeah, we just had to get out of there because, you know, I mean, even though we know that people knew better, you know, still you have a certain few that, you know, looked down on you. Didn't feel right, you know, being there anymore, you know. Plus there was so many, you know, so many memories, you know, there, you know, of the kids and stuff.
Well, I haven't dealt with poverty. Drive by somebody who's really dirty, and their kids are dirty, and they have nothing. They sort of avoid. What I see is they avoid these people. They drive right by, and it's like, you know, as soon as they can forget about these type of people, they get them out of their mind. They don't have to think about it anymore, and that's how I think people see it. A lot of people do. instead of just trying to help out or whatever. And maybe there's really nothing you can do. I don't know, but it does look like an eyesore to me, and I've been through it. So, and I think of it as an eyesore. It's like sort of like something I'm ashamed to see. You know, people like that. And
this past summer when the police, you know, cut everything down, and there goes Jim. There's Jimbo.
Yeah.
Crossing the road.
Yeah,
He's staggering. It's too bad. You know, kicking us, you know, just trying to find a place to go and sit and drink a beer with our friends. And they basically pretty much, you know, you can't go there, you find another place to go and you can't go there. And they cut all the trees and everything down. And so that we were hiding to try to not be in anybody's way, but yet, I don't know how to say this. Police find you and make you leave, kick you out of everywhere, you know, where you try to not be in anybody's way, pretty much.
No, we didn't want to burden anybody. We're kind of people that like to stick to ourselves and not ask for help unless we desperately need it. That's just the way we are.
Well, even then, you know, it's hard. I mean.
Yep.
You know, we went and looked at an apartment yesterday, and the lady called us back last night and said the apartment was ours if we wanted it. So we're pretty excited.
I'm really thankful for the help of, you know, this shelter. And I mean, like I said before, you know, if it weren't for this place, you know, we'd probably be, you know, dead somewhere. I mean,
Frozen, starving.
something.
They can let go of some of the past people we've had. Because we know if we continue to hang out with them and continue to let them hang out with us, that chances are greater that we would lose the apartment.
Yeah.
If we were to keep it. And I know, and for me that's a hard thing to say. You know, because I've lived on the streets with these people. You know, I'll help them in any other way I can by giving them cigarettes or, you know, buying them something to eat or, but I'm just not willing to take the chance of losing the apartment.
Yeah.
So, I know it's hard on Bob too.
There's a old empty motel that could be fixed up. All those rooms could be filled with homeless people or people that, you know, that have no other thing out to go. And it would save a lot of money. It would save them a lot of time, a lot of trouble, and it would save them money from putting them in prison.
I come out with no job skills, and I have an education now, but with no job skills. And it's very, very difficult for a person in my shoes to find a job. And I'm still poor. I mean, I got laid off from my job. Now I'm working another job, but it's just like, I mean, it's hard to get ahead, and I thank God that I don't have a family to take care of and stuff. If I had kids or whatnot, I don't know what I'd do.
They don't call me Wolf or nothing.
You know,
I just I ain't gonna give up hope, you know. I just can't give up.